Hi dear students, you are welcome in this video. Today we are going to talk about how to prepare for UGC NET examination on your own. I am not recommending any coaching class or high cost study material. Here we will think about how to prepare this exam and what kind of strategies and planning should we have while preparing the national eligibility test, or for that matter state eligibility test, or for any exam. You can use this strategy for any exam. This video is for those students who are just trying to appear for the examination, and it is not for those who are already appearing for the examinations and they have given so many examinations, but for the beginners. So you can watch all the video and understand the strategy, and from here we also are going to start the preparation of study material, and I will provide you study material on SET or NET examination. We have developed a website called literaturesimply.com. There you can find all these materials. So let's start. What kind of strategy or planning we should have while preparing for the NET examination. So these are some of the points that I am going to cover. I will share this PDF. If you want, you can go to Literature Simply Telegram channel, and there you will find this PDF of the material. Now, so talking about the very first thing, which is understanding the exam pattern. So first you need to understand exam pattern. Now for NTA UGC NET, you find there are two papers. The very first is general aptitude and second is, you can see, subject specific, means it is based on language and literature or any other subject which in which you are studying. So here we have general aptitude, and for general aptitude you are asked 50 questions for 100 marks. Now you can see here each question is for 2 marks. There is no any negative marking, so you need not to worry about that. And here we have topics for the first paper, that is general aptitude, and here you can see different types of topics, and these topics you have to prepare, and each topic consists of 5 questions. There are 10 topics. Now you see very first we have teaching aptitude, second research aptitude, and based on you find different types of questions are asked in the examination. Next you have reading comprehension, which is test because it is a general paper. Then communication, there are also questions on communication. Then reasoning also have maths. Then logical reasoning, data interpretation, information communication technology also have 5 questions for 10 marks. Then you have people and environment, and then higher education system, governance, polity and administration. Now this section nowadays is you can find questions on NEP 2020, and you will find that these questions are framed on National Education Policy 2020. So you have to understand this education or higher education system in India, where you can answer 5 questions for 10 marks. So this is the first paper with general aptitude. Next you can find that the second paper and its marks and the time allotted you for this whole 2 papers. Now here we have paper 1 for you will find that there are 50 marks for 50 questions for 100 marks, and paper 2 there are 100 questions for 200 marks, again 2 marks for each question, and total we have to solve 150 multiple choice questions with 300 marks. Now time given to you is of cumulative, and it is 3 hours of time. So there are 2 shifts, morning shift and afternoon shift. In the morning shift you find the timing 9:30 AM to 12:30 PM for the examination, and in afternoon shift 2:30 PM to 5:30 PM, and we have 180 minutes, means 3 hours of time is allotted for these 2 papers, and you have to sit for 3 hours and solve these papers. So this is the cumulative time. You can spend the time on both the papers as you wish, and here we find this is very important, and here this timing needs to be managed well so that you can answer all the questions and you can score well. Now here you see the syllabus of the English. Very first we find that there are 10 units, unit 1st to 10th, and every unit is unique, and we have to study in deep all these units. Very first unit is drama, second is poetry. Now this drama and poetry is taken directly from its origin. So we have to cover all the history of drama, the origin of drama, how did drama develop, and the trends in drama, movements in drama, different types of dramatists, their plays, right from its origin, means right from we have to cover from the Middle Ages, when the drama has been developed in English literature. So from there also, and again from ancient time, we have to discuss the poetry, we have to study poetry. Then we have third, fiction, short story, then non-fictional prose. Now talking about these 4 units, you can understand that these passages are asked for critical reading, critical thinking and writing skills. And again, these 4 units will cover all literatures in English. This is very important, means all literature. They are not talking about only literature, British literature or American literature or Indian writing in English, but all literatures in English. So you have to study a lot, you have to think about so many things while studying literature. Here very first thing is that we have to cover all the history, how all these genres are developed, how all these literary forms are developed, and from there we have to talk about all the critics, theorists, then playwrights, then novelists, then all the authors, whatever are there in the history. So this is what about the syllabus, or we can say that the broad spectrum of the syllabus of English. Then we have 5th unit, and in 5th unit we have language, basic concept, theories, pedagogy, English in use. Now this is also a very broader area, but here you can find that how English has been developed and now how it is used by the people around the world. So these all things we need to consider here in this unit. Next unit, 6th, we have English in India, history, evolution and futures. Now this is a particular unit where you find that the history of English in India, or how did English develop in India right from the colonizers or before the colonizers. So all these things we have to discuss here, or what is the state of English in India for that matter. Then we have a very specific topic, that is cultural studies. It is related to theory. So when we discuss theory, we will talk about this cultural studies. Then we have literary criticism also. Actually we can study this both units, criticism and theory, including critical theory and criticism. So this unit is very important because it gives you the perspective, it gives you the idea of studying literature, and hence this critical theory or cultural studies we must understand in the light of literature. So we will discuss all these things. Then we have literary theory post World War. Again it is related to theory. And the last unit is research methods and materials in English. So what kind of materials we can use to study English, or how these materials are used to teach English basically. So here these materials means materials used to teach English, different types of approaches, methods. For example, we have CLT method, means communicative method. Then we have content based method, content based teaching or teaching method. So these are different types of methods, situational methods. So we have to discuss these materials and methods in the last unit, that is research methods and materials in English. So actually this is a very vast syllabus and it's very difficult to cover this syllabus in a few months. You need to study meticulously, you need to study hard to cover all this syllabus. But I am going to provide you a strategy, some techniques that how you can cover all this syllabus, and I will give you a very special kind of strategy to face all this syllabus or to study all this syllabus in English. Now let's talk about the next point, and that is study material. So it is very important to have study material to crack UGC NET or any exam. For example, you need to have a relevant study material, then you need to read some original text so that you can understand how English literature works, or how did writers write, or what is the analysis you form when you read some original text. Here I will recommend you read some novels, some plays, original plays, some short stories, so that you can understand the English literature and you can cope with the line of English literature. So original texts also are important. Then reference books, Why reference books are important? Because these reference books tell you about some works. For example, you are studying Joseph Conrad, and on Joseph Conrad you find different types of reference books. Then this reference books gives you perspective, the idea about the works and the author or Joseph Conrad. Then there are so many online resources you can use, but you should be very selective in this online resources, because most of the time it causes distraction to students, because when they search something, just they land on different page and they watch different videos. So I recommend you should be very strict while consulting the online resources. There are so many videos, there are so many text material available online, so you can use online resources. Then I will recommend you quality material. Whenever you find, you should find a very good language, simple language, logical, or we can say that the language in which you find cohesion and coherence. So quality material is very important. Once you read quality material, you will gain confidence, and after gaining confidence, you can study well. So quality material, access to quality material is very important, and try to cover entire syllabus. In the very first phase, it is very difficult to cover all the syllabus, because right from we have to think the Anglo-Saxon period to till date, and in this scenario we have to consider all the authors, all the works of English literature. So but try to cover this entire syllabus. And for quality material, we have developed a website called literaturesimply.com. there you can find the material on set net, and I will provide you all this material. I will post every day some kind of we can say that notes, so you can refer to those notes and understand how English literature is, and what kind of things are there in the UGC NET English examination. So I will post and I will also provide, because right now I am preparing all this material, and I will once I will prepare the booklets, I will post all this material on literaturesimply.com. You can go there and consult the study material. Next point is also very important, where you can plan your study. So you need to write down a realistic timetable. You need to follow a realistic timetable. Again, this time you should give time for every topic based on weightage and difficulty level. Now this is also important. If you find some topic difficult, you have to study it well, or you have to prepare it well by using different types of methods, or by using different types of material. And again, you have to think about the weightage. For example, in NET you find 35 to 40% of syllabus is asked from the British literature. So you have to prepare British literature very well, so that you can cover the 40% of portion from British literature. So we will take all these things right from the origin of literature, or the old English literature, to the present, especially British literature. Then you should devise short-term and long-term goals. You should keep these short-term and long-term goals and track your progress. For example, you can set some time, and you can set you are going to read all the American literature within these days, and after that you are going to appear for a mock test, or you are going to solve some previous year question papers. So these kind of things give you a very clear idea of preparation of NET examination. Next thing which is very important is focus on both the papers. Now, how much time you are giving for first paper and second paper? What is your focus, or how you can have the understanding of first paper, or how you are going to prepare the first paper is very important, because after first paper you have to prepare thoroughly the second paper. Our main focus would be preparation of the second paper, because in the first paper you find all the concepts are general, because the very name of the paper is general aptitude, and hence we have to think about the second paper, and we need to prepare second paper thoroughly. So we will give more time for the second paper. So this is the paper or some instructions here I have posted for you. You can have a look. The next thing is practice. Practice is very important. Unless you practice the questions, you will not gain confidence, or you will not be able to solve the questions. So practice is very important. Very first, you should practice some mock tests, because there are so many mock tests available. If you go to NTA UGC's website, you will find mock tests. You can solve these mock tests. Again, you can solve the previous year questions. Then you have you should prepare for time management, because time management is very important. So how many minutes you have for how many questions? For example, 150 questions for 180 minutes. So you should be very careful about time management, and you need to cover all the paper. You should not leave some questions unanswered. So you should attempt all the questions. It is very important. Then next thing is that is identify weak areas and focus on those weak areas. Say for example, you find understanding theory or studying theory difficult, then you have to prepare theory very well, or you have to focus more on the theory. You have to go to some of mentor or your teacher and understand that theory if you find it difficulty. So identify your weak areas and work on those weak areas more. Then work on your strength. Again, this is also important. As weak areas are important, in the same way strengths also are important. Say for example, your history is very well, or you know so many authors very well, then you need not to focus more on those authors or that history. Just you can revise it once or twice, and then you get all the information or whatever is there in your syllabus or as your strength. So weak areas and strong areas also important, and practice all the time. Whenever you find time, you practice while reading or writing. Next thing here again is important, revision. Students, revision is also a very important part of your planning and strategy. Here you should revise regularly your learning. Whatever you have studied, you should revise it. Then revise important concepts and theories. Check your learning and understanding while revising. How you are going to do this revision? It's very simple, that if you are reading all the time, just write down all the things that whatever you have read. It's simple method. Or just go to previous year question papers and check your learning and check your revision. So this is also a very important part in your strategy. Now stay updated. It is very important. If you are appearing for NET, you should know the information, or you should know all about what is the NET examination. So you should be track the latest developments or whatever there is going in the examination. Then you should follow certain news. Then follow reliable sources, for example academic journals or publications. And here is the website of a UGC NTA, where you find all the information. Here you have to fill up your form on this website, and you will find they allot you the hall ticket or admit card, and you have to download this admit card from the website, and that is ugcnet.nta.nic.in. and here is the screenshot of this. We can say that the website. Here you see Department of Higher Education and National Testing Agency. This kind of website you will find if you type ugcnet.nic.in. You will get this picture. Next thing here, we have stay healthy. This is also very important. While preparing any exam, you should be healthy, and for that you can do this type of things. Physical health is important, also mental health is important. Don't feel stressful. If you feeling stressful about this exam or preparation, then we can find that there are so many students who ruin their examinations when the time comes. So your mental health, physical health is important. Avoid burnout, avoid stressful situations, take enough sleep. This is also important. Many students they do not sleep in the period of examinations, and there is possibility you will fall ill at the time of examination. So enough sleep is important. So balanced lifestyle is also important. Follow a certain routine, for example waking up early in the morning and doing all the things as per your schedule. Prepare a schedule and follow that schedule meticulously. So balanced lifestyle style is important. Regular exercise also keep you fit. Then have nutritious diet and manage your stress. So these kind of things are important. How you can manage all these things? Once you find a good routine, so this is important, staying healthy. Then join a study group. This is also important. If you are studying on your own, you need to have some friends or the persons or boys or girls who are preparing the same examination. So you can join a group or study center in your city or in your place. Then you can join a library, you can join a reading hall. There you can find different types of students. Then you can engage yourself in discussions, because discussions also are important. For example, sometimes you find some concept difficult. If you discuss that concept with your fellow students or with your colleagues, then you will find these concepts become easier to understand. Find a mentor if possible, find a teacher or mentor who can guide you on these concepts or terms or English literature. If you don't have, you can follow some online we can say that platforms. You can follow videos, you can have websites like literaturesimply.com. you can join our Telegram channel, that is Literature Simply, so that you can understand the things very clearly. So joining a group or joining a center is important, or it can be the part of your strategy. Now here we have last point, which is also very important. Stay motivated. Most of the time what we do, we just begin on a very high scale, but when we continue our study, there comes a situation where we find it's boring, and for that you need to be all the time motivated. So how you are going to get motivation? Say for example, set realistic goals, that you have to achieve certain kind of things. Goals are very important, which makes you understand the very purpose what you are doing. Then always be positive. This is also important. There are so many people or so many students around you, they may say that it is very difficult exam and it is impossible to crack in first attempt, but I will say that I will assure that you can crack UGC NET in first attempt, as I have cracked already. So it's not so we can say that difficult, but you should be always positive and hear all the positive things whenever you hear from others. Read, watch inspirational content. This is also important. Sometimes you find it's very boring, or you find it's very difficult to cope with the situation or with the stress. At that time you should watch some inspirational material or some inspirational videos, or you can read some inspirational content. Consistent effort are very important in the achieving your goal. Then dedication, discipline, all these things are very important, and these things will keep you motivated all the time. So I will just say at the end, you should be positive when you are preparing for some exam, and follow all these things. You will definitely get success in your endeavor or in your attempt, or I will sure you will crack UGC NET in the first attempt if you follow this strategy. Still you have any problem, any query, any kind of help, just you can check our website literaturesimply.com, or you can comment below in this video, so we will discuss the things for you. Thank you very much.